What's up, guys? In today's video, we'll be detailing a 2009 Toyota Camry that hasn't been detailed in over 10 years. Now, the car isn't full of garbage, the seats aren't terrible, but all the plastics, the mats, the carpets are definitely bad and definitely need to be detailed. I'm also going to work on the exterior a little bit. There's some scratches and paint transfer that I'm going to try to get out, so I'll be polishing, maybe compounding, using a DA polisher. Now, without further ado, let's get on to the before shots. And if you guys are new, please hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos I'll be uploading. So first thing I do for any detail is remove all loose items and garbage out of the car and either throw it away if it's trash or put it into a bin if it's not. During this step, this is also where I remove the floor mats. Take a look at just how bad these floor mats are. Of course, I don't expect to get them perfect, but we will try our best and see how much better we can get them. What do you guys think? Do you think these mats are too far gone, or it's possible to get it back 100%? And if so, what are the steps you guys would take to do that? So my plans for these floor mats are to rinse them off with a power washer, and then spray them down with a fabric cleaner, agitate with a drill brush, and then rinse it off again with the power washer. On this floor mat, you can really see just how dirty they were and how much cleaner we're getting them. Now that we rinsed most of the dirt and the fabric cleaner out of the mats, I'm going to finish it up by extracting the leftover water. As you can see here, my extractor is leaking a little bit of water. I took it apart, found out the gasket is broken, so I'll need to replace that. Now just look how dirty this water still is, even after rinsing the mats off with the power washer. Now, I wasn't planning on taking the seats out, but as you'll see here shortly, I had to. So first, I have to disconnect the battery before unplugging the wiring harness under the seats. After disconnecting the negative terminal, I usually let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes before unplugging the wiring. And so this is why I deemed it necessary to take the seats out. It's going to make cleaning the sides of the center console way easier, get the stains off the carpet that's on the side there, and just make the whole process a little easier to do. So now that the seats are out of the car, I'm going to prop them up on a folding table to make it easier on my back. And then I'm going to vacuum, then spray it with a fabric cleaner, agitate with the drill brush, and then extract. I'll also be cleaning the seat belt and the plastic areas around the seats with all-purpose cleaner and a detail brush, and then wiping it down with a microfiber towel. Now the seats aren't that bad, but when I empty the extractor, you'll see that there is in fact still a lot of dirt there.
words, but I won't let them bruise. Even though it hurts, I won't show it to you. 'Cause it will ricochet, I won't let it bite. I will look at you and tell you that I'm alright. Like a ricochet, it will come back to you. Let me tell you, no, because my eyes are open, your words will keep bouncing away. And even if you're trying to hurt me, my skin's getting thicker each day. I don't know how you fall asleep at night, knowing that your words are hurtful, it's just not right. No, because my eyes are open, your words will keep bouncing away. Like a ricochet, like a ricochet, like a ricochet.
Now, because I know that this car hasn't been detailed in 10 years or more, I'm going to do a pass with the shop vac and then use a drill brush just to agitate the carpet even more and bring up any more of that dirt and sand to the surface, and then do a second pass with the shop vac. I'm using two different drill brush attachments here, a flat one for the larger surface areas, and then the rounded one for the edges and tight areas that I couldn't get to with the flat one. All the drill brush attachments come together in a pack when you buy it, and if you guys are interested, I have all the links to the products and chemicals I use in the description below.
To somebody else, but it will ricochet, I won't let it bite. I will look at you and tell you that I'm alright. Like a ricochet, it will come back to you. Let me tell you, no, because my eyes are open, your words will keep bouncing away. And even if you're trying to hurt me, my skin's getting thicker each day. I don't know how you fall asleep at night, knowing that your words are hurtful, it's just not right. No, because my eyes are open, your words will keep bouncing away. Like a ricochet, like a ricochet, like a ricochet, like a ricochet.
As you can see, there's still a ton of dirt and sand even after that first pass of the vacuum, so it's definitely necessary to go with the drill brush and just to agitate the fabric and get all that extra sand up to the surface. Next step, I'm spraying the carpet down with a fabric cleaner, diluted 15:1 or 20:1, depending on how bad the carpet is. And I'm using a chemical sprayer because it makes life a lot easier. Then using a drill brush to work in the fabric cleaner. Finally, I'm going to extract. And man, you have to see how dirty this water is. Probably twice as dirty as the water from the seats, which is kind of expected. Now onto the center console and cup holder area. I'm using a steam cleaner, which is really invaluable for these caked up areas. There's dirt and grime in all the seams and crevices, and using the steam cleaner is a great way to clean them. I always keep a microfiber close and use it kind of as like a barrier to prevent some of the debris from flying all over the car. Now this step isn't 100% necessary because I always do a final pass of the shot vac at the end of the detail, but it just helps. After the steam cleaning is done, I spray it down with all-purpose cleaner, use the drill brush to agitate areas, and then wipe it up with a microfiber towel. I use the same method, all-purpose cleaner, detail brush, microfiber for the dashboard and steering wheel. The detail brush is great for those hard to get to areas such as buttons, the vents, and little areas in between the steering wheel. Onto the door panels, I'm spraying it with an all-purpose cleaner, agitating it again with the drill brush, and then wiping it up with a microfiber towel. And I'm also doing the door jambs here, but for the door jambs, I'm using a separate microfiber towel because obviously it's going to be a little more dirty with grease and oil, and you don't want to spread that. After all the door panels and door jambs are done, it's time to move on to cleaning the windows. I make sure to roll down all the windows just a tad to get to that upper part of the window that you wouldn't normally be able to get if they were up all the way. And I'm using two different microfibers. One microfiber to get most of the grease and grime off of them, and then a second to just reduce the streaking. So if you guys have seen any of my previous videos, you know that I'm a big fan of Chemical Guy's Silk and Shine. But a lot of you have recommended 303 Aerospace, and I'm happy to say that I've got my hands on some, and I'm going to try it on this detail. I'm just spraying it onto a microfiber and then evenly coating it onto any plastics, vinyl, rubber, but here I'm using it on the door panels and the dash, excluding the steering wheel for safety reasons. I have to say, I can see what all the hype is about. It lays on and spreads a little better while still giving that non-greasy new look. Now that the interior is all done, I'm going to give the car a quick wash and then work on doing the headlights and a few areas where there's paint transfer and some scratches. Of course, using a 2-bucket method and starting from the top, working my way down. The inside where the gas cap is was really bad, so it took a little bit of time, and I actually used all-purpose cleaner to help break down the grime. Now that the car is all rinsed off and dried, I'm going to clay bar the headlights before I polish them, which isn't a necessary step, but it was pretty easy to do. This just removes any contaminants that are stuck onto the surface of the headlight. After I rinse off and dry the headlight, I'm going to tape it off and then begin to polish using a DA polisher and an orange foam correcting pad. After a few passes at speed 3 or 4, I'm going to buff it out with a microfiber towel and then use an applicator pad for those hard to reach areas that the DA couldn't get. The second pass is going to be using the same polish, but instead of the orange foam correcting pad, I'm going to be using a polishing pad. You can see here what a difference that makes without having to use any sandpaper or going through any of that mess. Now to tackle this scuff mark. First thing I'm doing is spraying the panel down with an IPA, which is basically just isopropyl alcohol mixed with water at a 1-to-1 ratio. And then it's going to be the same process as with the headlight. And here's the result after 5 minutes. Alright, the car is done and looking a ton better. Let's check it out. If you guys enjoyed this video and haven't done so yet, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified for future videos. Thanks guys.